Good morning everyone, welcome to a new Super 69 EV film. My name is Tom and today I wanted to do a small follow-up on the last movie I made about the small electric camper van I have been obsessing over. We talked it through, my wife and I, and we think could be really cool idea, but on the other hand, it's a lot of money. Camper vans are just really expensive, and actually only an electric one is a feasible option. If you are looking at diesel ones in Germany, for example, and you have to add BPM, there's a significant amount on top of the price that you have to pay. So those are out of the question. But it got us thinking. Holidays with a camper van are a bit different than when you're on the road with a caravan, because with a caravan you can go to the cool mountain places and explore the cool back roads and drive the little country roads through Germany, Switzerland and Austria. So what would be a good idea to test out if it fits with the kids and stuff? So what we're now planning on doing is in the fall holiday to go with the i3, maybe even as far as Austria. But we're going to, the idea now is to drive to Kassel in Germany, which is from our home is like a 260, so like a 3-hour drive. And from there on, we want to go south to Munich, to Tegernsee, and if it's still open, because it will be around the end of October, so if it's still open, we want to drive the Großglockner Hochalpenstraße in Austria. I think it will be really cool to document that trip, of course. So it's not yet been finalized, and we're not totally sure yet, but that could be very, very, very cool. So that is for now the plan. We are going to look at a camper van this Saturday. I'm really curious. My wife isn't fully convinced about the way it's set up and the way it is built and is laid out. We have been obsessing over Volkswagen Californias for years, and if we won the lottery, we probably would buy one, and I would get a normal front wheel drive and bring it to cycle in Germany and get a proper 4x4 from it. That would be if we had unlimited amounts of money, but we don't. So we have to see if something that could fit our budget is also something we would like to own. And she makes good points about what is good and what isn't as good on the small e-Venster. But I have to see it for myself too. I have seen it on the internet. I think it could work really well. But I also have some small doubts. So let's see. Let's just do some research. So that's what we're planning on doing. The i3, of course, is racking up the miles. We are currently at 64,400. And I'm going to the office 2 days in a row, so that will be almost 65 tomorrow at the end of the day. It's a bit mad at the moment, but I still love driving this thing. And when my wife put out the idea, because it was her idea, to go on a road trip with the i3, I thought that's a great idea. Let's try that, because the funny thing is, if you compare range from the e-Fenster and the i3, even though the e-Fenster has a 75 kilowatt hour battery and this one has a mere 38 usable. They are pretty equal in range and also in charging time. So that makes it really interesting to see how we get by. I don't think the charging time is a problem, from 36 to 40 minutes, from 10 to 80%. I don't think that will be an issue. I also don't think that speed-wise there's going to be an issue, because you can drive around 120 kilometers and still get good range. So I think there's range-wise and stuff, there's no problem at all. I've been exploring EQV pop-top conversions as well. Those are just too expensive. You get a lot more car for your money, but it's also really, really expensive to build one. So we're not going to do that. It's just too expensive. Maybe you could say we do it in a couple of years. There's an ID Buzz passing me. That's just too small. The long wheelbase will be too expensive. The Volkswagen T7, based on the multifan, will be too narrow on top. So there's not much going, besides price-wise at least. What you could do is get a Rijmo Weekender that's based on the Caddy Maxi. That will be an even smaller camper van, but it looks cool as hell. And it has a pop-top, so you can sleep on top, and that's not possible with the Caddy Maxi California. You could add it on top, but Volkswagen is just overcharging for those. And what I would like even better is a previous generation Caddy Maxi, and then the all-track version with, I would prefer a diesel in it, but a diesel, full motion, all-track, Caddy, Rijmo Weekender kind of thing that could suit us really well, but it's very, very cramped. So yeah, it's something you can, it's a bit like the Wanderer all over again. It's even more clever than like an e-Fenster or a California, because they make absolutely the most about the space that is there, but it's just a bit too small, I think. And then of course we still have the Ford Westfalia Nugget, which I looked at, but those prices are still so high. I don't think it would make sense. Also, another thing to mention is it would be the daily driver for my wife, and she drives around 3 to 5 kilometers a single journey, and then sometimes a bit more, but most of the time it's just a small single journey. And because of that, a diesel would really shit itself within a year, because it wouldn't get any temperature in, and it would get very filthy on the inside of the engine. And I just don't want the hassle of that, because it's too much hassle. A small petrol engine would be, of course, no problem. They don't need as much temperature to operate perfectly as a diesel does. But I don't think, let me put it this way, a Rijmo Weekender in around the way I would spec it isn't on the market at all, just none available. So there's that as well. But it's a fun process to be in, and yeah, let's just see how it goes. As always, thank you for watching. What do you think about our idea to maybe get an electric camper van? And what do you think about our road trip plans with the BMW i3S? If you made it this far in the video, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel along. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.